Welcome to part 2 of our Poka-Yoke series. Our first installment included a lot of societal examples of mistake-proof design. But today we're diving more into how this principle transforms technology. And in case you missed it, the Poka-Yoke idea is basically the idea of creating systems where it's difficult, if not impossible, to do anything but the intended behavior. Okay, so to kick off, we're actually going back in history. This is Mint, the fintech app. And I think a lot of its early success was based on a Poka-Yoke principle in design that you couldn't use the product without syncing a financial account. Obviously, this is risky. It takes a lot of work, but that meant that the user could not experience the app without their actual data or without the immediate value of seeing all their money in one place. So potentially a big innovation win. The second example is something that we're seeing a lot right now with B2B platforms, which is B2B platforms like Ramp are preventing users from registering with their personal email addresses. And we're going to call this mistake-proof sales, right? Basically, the company automatically filters for viable leads with your email address. And so they're mistake-proofing their sales funnel. The other one that I really like that probably hasn't gotten enough love given AI is the classic Gmail asking you, did you forget the attachment? So lovely. So thank you, Gmail. It's making sure that I'm not going to make a mistake when I'm sending something that I've clearly said this is attached. So if you zoom out with these examples, this kind of represents the two ways that you can approach mistake-proof design. One is being paternalistic and forcing a user to do something. This is what Ramp does. This is what Mint did, right? You're making sure that. The second is what we're calling in your way, which is basically Gmail's having a pop-up and it's saying, look, you may just have forgotten to do something. And so we're going to make sure that you don't forget by putting something in your way and doing a forced choice question. Those are two kind of high-level approaches. I would also say that I think a big area that we need more mistake-proofing is in AI workflows. So basically, in one world, you have companies telling employees to use AI more, and then in another world, you have companies telling their users to use their AI features, and telling people rarely works. True adoption is going to come from mistake-proofing workflows, so people can't help but use it in their systems. So to echo that, I'm going to basically show you how Gemini works, and it illustrates this challenge. So the first thing is discovery. They haven't mistake-proof discovery. Gemini is up in the top right with a very small logo. So it's obvious that I could want to use Gemini, but I may just miss it because of attention or forgetting or not knowing, right? So you would want to mistake-proof this a little bit more. I'll give you an example of how with this use case, which is basically, look, this is our Rational Labs overview deck. I'm about to send it with 2 shades of blue. Like this has 1 shade of blue and this has 1 shade of blue. What? And so when I ask it, make all the blues in this PowerPoint deck the same shade, number 1 says, I can't help with that. Do you need anything else? So I would have to know that I could ask it that and then know if it can't do it, what can it do? Now, if we were redesigning this, we may actually intervene at the share moment, just like Gmail has. Say, share. Are you sure that you want to share this? Do you want us to do a 10% auto adjust? Pictures do this really lovely. Auto adjust the picture and it changes all the small dials and nodes a little bit until your picture becomes a little bit better, right? So there are ways to basically help a user out without forcing them to know that they have to ask about the blue shades to be matched. You're actually making it much easier for them to do the thing they want to do, which is have a really nice deck that you send out to people. Where we need more mistake proofing is AI workflows. So let me explain. Most companies are telling employees or their user to use new AI tools or adopt new AI features, but telling people rarely works. True adoption is going to come from mistake-proofing workflows so people can't help but use the new system. I want to show you something. This is Gemini now, and this is how it looks when you open a PowerPoint deck. Gemini's implementation illustrates this challenge. The first problem that they haven't mistake-proof is discovery. This small logo requires me to understand that if I click it, I get access to this amazing tool. And the second thing is integration. So I'm about to send this deck out to people and I have the wrong color blue. I also have some different fonts in here. And so I asked Gemini, make all the blues in this PowerPoint the same shade, pick whatever blue is the most used. So I would have to know that I could ask this, right? If it doesn't do it, I'd have to know, what does it do? There's no failure mode here for a user making this mistake at asking it something that it actually can't do. So what you could do if you want to make it mistake proof is that Google could prevent document sharing just like they do with attachments until you've answered a simple question. Would you like Gemini to automatically adjust formatting for consistency? This would make the right behavior nearly automatic. It's basically an in-your-way approach to doing this, and it has a mental model that we already know, which is auto adjust for pictures, right? You can auto adjust a picture and it's going to change a little bit of the levels, a little bit of the brightness, a little bit of the contrast to make it a little bit better. So when we're talking about this type of mistake proof design, the question is, how do you make it easy for users to do the thing that they want to do? And in this case, it's just have a PowerPoint deck that looks good. I think the other kind of big example here in the AI world is just, how do you access AI? And our existing habit is likely to go to the URL bar and type in a search. So the path of least resistance for AI is leading to Google. By the way, Google loves this because they're also able to then integrate AI Gemini into their search results, and then they have a mistake-proof way to approach their AI strategy. But all the other folks, ChatGPT and Claude, they're fighting against this habit. So what would you do? If you're a manager, an employee, the thing is, we want to make it easy for people to do the right thing. And so this is a little bit of a hard one, but for us, what we've done is there's two things. One is that you can install an app, and I'll show you what it looks like here, that basically makes it just one click to go to this is a browser extension to ask ChatGPT something. The other thing that you can recommend people do is, instead of doing the clicks, is have Option spacebar is a easy way to get to the ChatGPT app. So that's going to call it up as a keyboard shortcut. So once you understand that you want to mistake proof something, you have to get a solution that helps people get in the way or make it as easy, if not easier, than the thing that they were doing. Go to Google with this, you're actually directed into ChatGPT or Claude, or even just automatically into Gemini if they wanted to make that part of their strategy. When we think about design opportunities, there's a lot of ways that you can be innovative if you have the headset of mistake proof. If you're thinking in these terms, I'll give you a few more examples. Like, I would love an AI writing tool that would automatically track and cite sources to prevent unintentional plagiarism, right? So if it would automatically prevent me from messing up with plagiarism, that would be wonderful. Now, if I'm copying something from ChatGPT, I could unintentionally plagiarize something and not know it. Another thing could be that web interfaces automatically change to enlarge buttons for an older population, let's say 75 plus. Right now, a lot of these websites are not built for people who actually have eye problems or aren't used to navigating websites. A mistake-proof way to approach design would be some plugin or interface that a developer could use for an older population. Smart forms that automatically adjust based on your history are also an example of mistake-proof design. These are the very small things that do impact conversion and retention when you're helping people do the thing that they want to do, but that they may not know exactly how to do it, remember it, or just care to do it. And you're there basically making a system that works for them. So the next time that you're building a product or a process, you can ask yourself, how can I make it so that users only have the option to succeed? And that's a shift in thinking from user education. It shifts to mistake-proof design, and it might just be your competitive advantage. So if you are thinking about this, if you are working on it, I'll say the same thing. You can subscribe to the Substack, keep in touch with me, or reach out, info@rationallabs.com, and we will chat.